Hi, this is Oliver and welcome to our new tutorial. In this tutorial we will break down and recreate the text effect from Imagine Dragons music video Enemy. And this is from Arcane's Netflix series. So first, this is what we will create.
Means they have used an From all appearances, something is after me.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to... First, let's have a look at the original footage, which is the music video from Imagine Dragons. And if you go through that frame by frame, you will see that a lot of things will happen. So first you have this enemy here, and let me just go all the way back to the beginning. You see that frame by frame. Here we have, this is how it starts, and then it starts to flicker and glitch around the text layer, as you see here in this area and this area. So it starts a little bit to glitch, and then it gets weird. You get frame by frame different typefaces. Here it's a line drawn style and different colors, and then it swaps back to this one, and it goes on and on 3 times. Here we go. Here you see the Fortiche logo. This is the guy or the studio who did all the animation. Very cool artwork. To create such a unique text style, the first thing you have to do is a little bit of homework, because you have to create all of these layers by yourself. But this is quite easy and don't take too much time. It depends on how detailed you'd like to have this. For that we use, in our case, in our video, we use Photoshop, and this is how we started. We have a 800 by 800 pixels image with a white background and a black typeface, which is important. You can change the color later in After Effects. And then first I typed enemy. I simply saved that as a JPEG or PNG with including the background. That's important. And I have different enemy typefaces in my folder. Here you see all of them. This one, and so I simply swapped the fonts in the text layer. I also put my logo in, and this is something we created in Photoshop, which is also quite easy. I simply had a new layer, and with the pen tool I simply start drawing here the enemy things like that, so and so on. You can follow me. I had this here, you see that for mine, and it was simply having the original typeface underneath it and then just drawing it hand face on my Wacom tablet. But you can also use your mouse, so it doesn't matter. So, and this is how you create the different textures of the typeface you'd like to have. Okay, and then let's go back to After Effects and get started. First, make a new comp, import your footage. This is already the footage I'd like to apply the effect on. And the next thing is I need a new solid. So go to Layer, New Solid. Make it black and call that type, or whatever you like to call that. So onto this layer we apply Patoon. Patoon is a texturizing effect, and you can download this this plugin down below in the description. By the way, if you look into the description, don't forget to follow us. But now let's go to Patoon, and it will start with a checker pattern. And if you click on this little icon here, you see your texture library, and this is a cross-platform library, so you have that always in After Effects with Patoon, and you can build that on your own. You can import folders, textures, whatever you like to create this effects or other effects. It's up to your creativity. So, but in our case, this should give us the background color for our enemy layer. So for that I have blue colors. Here, different blue colors. I choose the first one. And then I import or drop in another platoon instance onto that black layer. Okay, and now I choose my enemy typeform. Here we go, and I choose this one. Okay, and as you see, it's automatically tiled. That's not what I'd like to have. So first I go to my transform settings and switch the tile mode from tile to single. So now I have a single image. Okay. And let me change the blend method to inverted texture luma and the normal one to screen. Here we go. Now we have our text layer and we have this this blue color. Okay, so I don't like to see the edges here, so let's put in a mask, draw it around this rectangle here. So here we go. That's it. Okay. So in this layer, in this first platoon instance where we put the blue color on, if you click on that, you see we have more than one blue color here. Okay. So, and in this platoon plugin, you have an option that's called texture swap, and that swaps the textures in this folder randomly. Okay, you can choose any folder you have in your folder structure, and of course you can show the folders in the OS in your operating system. Here we go, and this is where I have stored my blue colors, and there are all my other folders, and you can simply drag and drop a folder within textures into this library, and it will automatically show up in Platoon. Okay, you can of course import single files into that, so just choose one, hit OK, and then it will import into that specific folder. Okay, so if I hit swap active and bring the frequency to, let's say, 50 and hit the play button, you will see it starts swapping between all these blue colors. Okay, and that's exactly what we like to have. Okay, and the second thing is we like also the enemy type folder to swap over time. Okay, so let's go here to swap texture or texture swap, make it active, and give them a frequency of, let's say, 50. And now you will see everything swaps together, and it looks very weird. Okay, maybe this is a bit too fast. Let's try 30. That should make it. Here we go. Okay, so we have 25 frames per second. We have a swap frequency from 30. That means 30 frames per second. That means if you have 25 frames per second, it only can show up one thing within a frame. Okay, and this gives us a very, very hard looking effect. So if you hit play, you see it's extremely hard. Okay, so original, I think what they did in that is you see some kind of footage blending through these images. Okay, so let's go and simply apply echo effect on that, and you can leave all the settings as they are. Okay, so and now if you play through, you get some overlapping typefaces, and that's the effect we like to go for. Okay, and this is the basic of creating this effect. It's this simple. Okay, so what we first like to do is we like this enemy thing. Let's make disable the echo. We'd like this effect in the upper right corner, so I simply take that black layer and bring it over there. So I have my typeface here, and turn back on. Now before we turn on the echo, let's have a deeper look into the original footage, and let's go back to the start of that. Here we go. So as you see, the edges are not 100% sharp. That's not because we have only a 720 pixel image. It's because it's naturally a little bit blurry on the edges, okay? And to achieve that in Patoon, it's quite easy. You have, of course, a blur section in Patoon, and simply blur that for, let's say, 4%. That should make it, and you get some little blurry edges here around, and it looks much more, feels much more natural, okay? So let's have a look how it looks so far. Echo back on. Here we go. Yeah, that looks exactly the way we'd like to have that. Okay. So let's rename that type to we call that type glitch, and make a copy of that, string D on a keyboard, and rename that to type start. Okay. So let's hide the type glitch for a while and go to type start. So what we like to have is the bluish color, of course, and we don't like to swap the image. So I simply uncheck the swap texture, and I have immediately this one, and I also disable swap texture on this blue channel. To be safe, I have the right color. Let's have some darkish blue. That looks better. And let's have a look how we start with that. So first of all, I bring the type glitch on top of that, and let's say we'd like to start it something over here, and then bring it to this position. So now this enemy layer starts to glitch. Okay, and the first thing we'd like to achieve is we're starting blank, and let me say around here I like to start this little glitch effect over the enemy text layer. Okay, and for that we use Patoon because we have also a glitch engine there. And let me show you this. Simply go to glitch section and hit the stopwatch, go one frame and activate the glitch. Okay, and you see nothing happens, and this is because of we took the wrong layer. We took the long layer. Boah, sorry, original. I'm German, and sorry for my English. I took the wrong layer. That's the point. So click the stopwatch here, uncheck glitch active, go to the type start. Why I called that tart? Oh my gosh, it's Friday. Type start, of course. Sorry for that. Only human. Don't hate me. Okay, here we're on the right layer. We go to the Patoon section, and now we go to the glitch one, and we make the glitch active. And this is what we have so far. It glitches over the text layer, which is not what we want. So first we keep the source unglitched. Okay, and then you have this little dots here, and this is because it glitches from a texture, and this texture has no clear alpha channel, and so for that we switch that to input layer, and now you have this little glitch around here. You can shift your pixels, you can drive that crazy. If you like to have it more because of the blend modes, you have to play with the blur. So the more you blur, the more glitch you get, but in our case it's perfectly if we do this. So let's go back to 20, and let's have a frequency of, let's say, try 6, and now I have to animate that, so I deactivate that, click the stopwatch, go one frame further, activate the glitch, go all the way through until it starts to swap the images and deactivate the glitch. Okay. So, and then string shift D on the keyboard to cut this. Oh, that works perfect with the Camtasia Studio. Okay. For you, it's string shift D on the keyboard to cut this layer. 1 second. I have to go the old way. Here it means edit split layer, just to get rid of that. Here we go. So, and now we should have our enemy then starting to glitch somewhere around here. Yes, right. And then we have the swap until here. Let's say something like that. And again, I will split that layer, edit, split layer, and delete that. And make a copy of that, string D on the keyboard, and bring it all the way to here, so I have back my enemy layer. So, let's have a look. It starts glitching. Texture swapping. Back to enemy. Perfect. Maybe let's have another color here. Simply choose my layer and swap the color to some purple. Let's try this one. That looks cool. Okay, so now we come from here to here. I will pre-render that. So, and that how it looks like. Perfect. Wonderful. So, let's bring in our pre-rendered footage, and as you see, we have here more things going on. We got this line styles here, we got that blend, that white blending here, this one, so a lot of stuff, and it's all the same technique. So let me delete that layer for now. Let's take care during the swapping that we have this grunge over this general footage. For that, I simply make a new solid, layer, new solid, call that main grunge, bring that on top of the footage and apply platoon. Change the transfer mode of this footage from normal to linear dodge. That made it, and we choose our grunge lines, which are this, and I go to my blend options and invert the patterns color. So here we go. We don't need to colorize that. We don't need it, so we can tint that here. For example, if you like to, you see, you can tint that footage into something purple. I like to give him some dark bluish color. That looks fine, and I will reduce the opacity to, let's say, 17 or 20. Let's say 20% should look fine. I just like to have that as a little touch, some little details over the image to give them that grungy look. Of course, I'd like to start that here and end that here. So that means, again, string shift D on the keyboard, or you go the old way, split layer. So here, this is this. You see, nothing happens. It stays there. That's not what we like. So we go to the texture swap options, make it active, and give him a frequency of 25. So we have each frame a new texture. Make it active, of course. Now we have each frame a new texture as overlay, and that looks quite cool. So you can use Platoon in stack. This means if you like to have this line styles here, where they are, hold on, I paused the video. Yeah, some kind of these line styles here as overlays. You see here the blue one, they changes. Here this one. If you like to have that too, you can put that in stock. Simply duplicate the Platoon layer, string D, because you have already the grunge texture selected. Simply choose, we call that line scribbles bold. Here we go. You see that here. Bring the opacity a little bit up so that a bit more present here, and then you have both things running. One thing, you're missing the background, and this is because we have to change the blend mode to screen, and now both instances are here to achieve that. So you can overlay more than only one thing in stack. You can make another one, string D on the keyboard, and choose this. Let's say we go for this hashtag thing here, where we have it hashtags. It's just this one. Okay, and you can also go to your transform settings, make it untiled single, so you have a single hashtag, and you can play with the offset mode to put it wherever you like, maybe here or maybe over the enemy text layer. So you can build as much stuff as you like, and because it's also swapping around, here we go. That's how it looks like. Yeah, quite cool. I think you got the idea how to achieve that, and you do that word for word and frame for frame. Simply put in these textures. So let's have a look how to get these white flashing things. For that I used another layer. So let's make a new solid layer, new solid, call it flash, and bring it to start here and end again here. Again, you know, splitting that footage and get rid of the rest. So this is our flash layer. Again, we need Platoon. I will apply some kind of we used, I think, the grungy stripe. Right, we did this one here. Apply that one to the flash layer. Here, this is how it looks like, and we switched that to add. So here, and we put on a glow. And play with the threshold, something around 95 should looks fine. We go to the blur, blur that a little bit. Here we go, and texture swap active, frequency to 25, and that gives you some very cool white heavy glitches. So, but what we need for that is we like to have some flickering, because now it's switching only the textures, and we like to have some flickering there. And of course, in Platoon you have also a flicker engine. Make it active, and now it will start to flicker. Let's bring the frequency up to, let's say, 50. Let's have a preview. Here we go. Very nice. So we have 2 times the flickering here. And if you don't like the tint of the color, you can also, of course, tint that to some bluish. So let's go to the tint section. Let's grab some bluish color here and tint that. So now we have some bluish color, and that will cross over all of the images, so you only have blue flickering here. So that's up to you. It's up to your creativity, what you like to have there. And that's it. By the way, this is a Photoshop pattern. So this is one feature of Platoon which is very cool. You can load and import Photoshop patterns directly in After Effects. So anything you have in Photoshop, you can just import to your library and have the Photoshop patterns as texture stack inside of Platoon. This is cool. So, so that's mainly it. You simply go step by step and copy. The next thing is only copy and paste, and your creativity, what else you'd like to swap over that. And for example, if you go to the type glitch, which is perfectly set up, and simply duplicate that, bring it over here. So here we have only enemy, and then we have that enemy mine thing going on. So I drag that up, I bring that to here. So now it starts to flicker the enemy thing. You simply have to change two things. One is the texture, and for that we use not enemy but mine. Here we go, and you're ready. And if you like to change the color, simply change the background color, and let's go to our vintage colors. These are some greenish colors, and now you have it swapped. Now you have anything which was enemy changed into mine, and this is how easy this is to achieve within Platoon. And the rest is simply copy and paste and be creative to achieve this effect. Hope you got an idea how to recreate that. Hope you like our tutorial. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, and we see us in the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.